Hi, I'm Leonard Maltin, and I'm happy to be introducing another evening of treasures from the Disney Vault, here on Turner Classic Movies. I'm standing in the Disney Archives display at the D23 Expo in Anaheim, California, presented by D23, Disney's fan club. All around me are wonderful pieces of artwork, costumes, and props from Disneyland, which is celebrating its 60th anniversary this year. In fact, I'm standing in front of a car from Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which ties in nicely for our next selection. A two-parter that opens with a delightful interpretation of Kenneth Grahame's witty fable, The Wind and the Willows, voiced by an array of talented British character actors. The narrator is the man that several generations regarded as the personification of Sherlock Holmes, Basil Rathbone. It's followed by a Halloween-appropriate adaptation of Washington Irving's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, narrated and sung by the most popular man in show business at that time, Bing Crosby. The quality of animation and storytelling are up to Disney's highest standards, and as a kid I always found it pretty scary. Now, admittedly, these two half-hour segments have little in common, except for the fact that they are expertly made and highly entertaining. You're going to see them just as they were presented to theatergoers back in 1949. It's impossible to overstate the significance of Bing Crosby's involvement with the film you just saw. Crosby was America's preeminent entertainer, with a popular radio show, a string of hit movies, an Academy Award, and a stream of best-selling records to his credit. Getting him to narrate and sing the story of Ichabod Crane was a coup for Walt Disney, and Bing generously plugged the movie on his radio program. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow played more or less on its own in later years, but The Wind and the Willows had an unexpected afterlife as the inspiration for one of the original attractions at Disneyland called Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Here's one of the cars from that very attraction. It's fun to experience whether or not you recognize its origin, but knowing it derived from Kenneth Grahame's story may make it all the more enjoyable. I certainly hope so. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad was the last of Walt Disney's episodic cartoon features. Just months after its release, he finally delivered what audiences had been clamoring for, a full-length fairy tale in the classic Disney tradition, Cinderella. We've got more Disney treasures in the next few hours, and I'll be back here at the D23 Expo, which you can learn more about at d23.com. Next up, we'll see a groundbreaking silly symphony short that helped Walt and his artists sharpen their skills in order to make films as good as Cinderella. The short is called The Old Mill.